All right, hello everybody. My name is Jed Ngoy. I play football at University of Charleston, and I'm a freshman this year.
Hello, everybody. My name is Naes Knox, and I go to UC. I'm a sophomore in college, and I play football for UC.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Spriggs, and I play football, and I'm a freshman too.
Hello, my name is Brian Jones. I'm a sophomore. I play football, and this is our podcast on being a young black man in America. First, I want to talk to Jed. Like, what is your experience of being a young man, growing? Like, your experience of being a young man in America?
So my parents are African, and I feel like my experiences in America. I don't know. I went through many things. I feel like I don't know. My family just moved up, like middle class. So like I definitely lived like a lifestyle where I didn't have much. I didn't know where I was going to eat. I didn't know where my next meal was coming from. I was a struggle. Yeah.
So, JJ, what is your experience?
My experience is, ever since I was a little kid, I've been in and out of home. So, like, I ain't never lived with, like, my mom or my family before I lived, like, foster care and stuff like that. So, my experience is like, I really don't know what, like, a real family is. So, like, dealing with, like, me playing football and stuff like that, it really shows me, like, being a family. But I used to live with Caucasian people, with one of my friends from high school or whatever. They live way different than we say we would do.
My experience of being a young black man in America, it was very different for me just because of the simple fact that I was always tallest, like I was always the biggest out of the group. So like when I was ever to do something, I would always get noticed just because of how big I am and because of how much I stood out. Like sometimes I could be with my Caucasian friend and like they would do the same thing I would do, but like they don't get the same consequences as me. Back in my class elementary, I would get in trouble one time, but somebody else do the same thing I do. They wouldn't get the same consequences. They would always notice me because I'm always the biggest, So that was like that was one cool like experience of being a young black man. It was a lesson learned. Since I was always the tallest, I gotta look out for my surroundings. So yeah. But another thing, I grew up in a black and white neighborhood. It was diverse a little bit. It wasn't just one color. It was pretty diverse. The people my experience of growing up in that type of neighborhood, it was pretty cool. Like my city's mixed with like it was both like black and white. It was pretty diverse. But it wasn't like it wasn't really too known for racism, like everybody got along with each other. So it was very nice and soothing. So yeah, I got along with a lot of the Caucasian people there. I didn't really have no too bad encounters really, not that I could think of. But I could say that almost everybody I met was really nice to me.
Well, I know we play football together, and I kind of view y'all as my brothers because football and stuff. So, but that's kind of the first time actually getting to know what y'all been through. I say for me that I kind of grew up in a regular black middle class family. I grew up with a lot of resources. I'm not gonna say I had it the greatest because we wasn't rich, but I did well. My family was well put together.
Yeah.
So I say I probably wasn't behind the 8 ball, but like growing up, I kind of had that classic African American lifestyle or household that people would say. So it was just a normal childhood for me.
Yeah.
My question to you, Jed, is what struggles do you face day to day on your race?
On my race, You know, sometimes like if like something bad happens, like I would think like maybe like it's just cause of my race. I mean, sometimes it's not. You know what I'm saying? But like that's just always like comes to mind. Like maybe it's just like did this happen because of that? Or that happened because of this? I feel like that. That always comes across.
JJ.
Sometimes, like you have very many different friend groups from like in school. You'll see like you'll have your like a primary white friend group and then like a primary black friend. Do you have a mix? So usually it doesn't really have nothing to do with race. It's just who you prefer to go to. Like you're not gonna go hang with somebody that's not like you. So like most high class people gonna hang with high class people. They're gonna hang with somebody that's lower class. You see it every day, bro.
Yeah, I say with me, like, it was a little different because I was always in a black neighborhood, so, like, I didn't really experience other race, like with you, for example, JJ, you said you live with one of your teammates who was Caucasian. With me, I kind of didn't experience that diversity until high school, especially my junior and senior year where I transferred into a more diverse high school. So, like, my vision on like the typical black experience in America is always struggle. Like I see a lot of my friends go through a lot of the struggle when it comes to the justice system or like generational trauma. So I feel like this is a good way to like tell people or like show people stuff that probably just not African Americans, but it's specifically more common with African Americans, what we go through on a daily basis.
With the struggles I face now on a day-to-day basis, I have tattoos now, and I have dreads. And with that, it just becomes more problems. Some people, some Caucasian people would just stare at me sometimes, when I walk into a place, with my dreads, and, I have tattoos as well. So, they'll look at me and then they're just automatically start judging, which, yeah, but, I never let that get the best of me. I like for people to judge me off of like my first impression, just off talking to me, not just off my looks. So yeah, but I never let that get to me.
What experience you have? Like, what experience you have dealing with racism?
Really, I've really had like very little to no experience, but I would say like I was in probably 4th, 5th grade, and like probably a little bit lower. I was living in West Virginia at the time. Like I was a little kid, didn't really know nothing really about race or whatever. I was just having fun, whatever. But so I had like this Caucasian girl or whatever, and then her mom was the principal. So her Caucasian girl had liked me back or whatever. Her mom did not want me with her, so her mom had called me to the office and told me she had called me the ER word. She said you should go back to slavery. You're like, you don't deserve to be with my girl.
Wow, like simple stuff like that. It's just I feel like as young men that we see it on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get to you, Jed, about it, but it's just like things you see all the time where I feel like being due to our race, we kind of had to hold back a little bit because of the social norms. I feel like we gotta watch what we say because I watch a lot of stuff that we say because we really are behind. Like you brung up slavery, like experience like that our people had to go through. I feel like it's still dwelled to this day. Like we still see, not as bad. I'm gonna say like as slavery, but we still see like with the justice system. There's a lot of incarcerated black men out there, and I feel like we always are put in the 8-ball when it comes to being in this country.
Yeah.
So, back to you, Jed. Like, what is your experience with racism?
So like growing up, I lived in poverty, a neighborhood that's not really, really good until high school. No, when I moved to Ohio, everything was fine now. But, when I went to school, I went to public school. It's pretty diverse. So, what I'm saying? I hung around with people that are like me. So I didn't really experience racism in middle school because I didn't really hang out with, people that are not like me. So when I went to high school, I went to a Catholic school, went to a private school. And, it's like 8 black kids total my freshman year. And, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like I was like pretty much like the only black kid in every class, So like, if we was watching a movie, and somebody said this in the movie, eyes go to me. So, like, real quick. I wouldn't say that's racist though, but like,
Prejudice, like some, not prejudice, but like some stereotyping.
Yeah. And especially my sophomore year of high school. I don't know. People people got more comfortable, because, what I'm saying? It's a predominantly white school. You can't really, do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, there was this one kid, and he had said something really out of pocket. I picked up on it, I picked up on it. And he said something like, I was play fine with my friend. You know how like people just flinch at each other and stuff? I did that. I was doing that with my boy at the time. And still boys to this day. But at the time I was doing that with my boy, and he just comes up out of nowhere. He's like, why y'all gotta act like that? Like why y'all gotta act like thugs? I'm like what? So I was really mad. It really messed up my whole day. And like after school, hunted him down. I'm not gonna lie. And I fought him. And that was like the first fight in 20 years at Baden. So yeah, so that's one thing, and that's really like slick jokes that people would try to make with me, and like I don't know. After my sophomore year, I learned to have patience because I feel like as a black man, you gotta have patience.
You gotta have patience as a black man. I say with me, like I don't think it was to the extreme, like a JJ's or yours, but like with me, it'd be little subtle stuff because I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like yes, I'm older than what I look like. Like I'm only 19, but people see the dreads and the beard and they already make a stereotype. Like it's multiple times where even in Charleston, like you go to the store and Charleston, I'm not gonna say it's predominantly a Caucasian area. Like I go to say a Walmart. It happened to me a couple of times where a person of a different race would just like avoid me altogether. Like even back home in Dayton, like specifically white women would usually like tuck their purse away from me, or if I'm with a group of my friends who are also like me, look like me, talk like me, they already ready to judge. They stare us down. They follow us through stores. So I'm not gonna say I've faced it blatantly, but it have been like stereotyping and little subtle racist movements that I have picked up on, and it's just stuff like that. It just make you feel like, man, like you don't mean no. Like I'm pretty sure we all don't mean no trouble or harm to anybody in this world.
Yeah, of course.
But it's it's just what we got to face. It's just what I'm pretty sure other race had to face, but it's just more. It's more potent with black people. That's why I feel like this is an important podcast to talk about it.
Yeah.
My experience with racism, I had a counter before, back when I used to work at Wendy's, my senior year of high school. I was talking to one of my black friends. We were just talking, playing around. We were about to close, so we were just talking, and one of my white coworkers, I guess he wanted to hurry up and get stuff done. He was like, you need to hurry up and get this stuff done with the N-word so we can get out of here. And, I was already, committed to play football for UC, so I didn't want to mess that up, you know. So it took a lot. It took a lot to hold that back and just not do anything about it. Because I knew, you know, if I would have done something, of course I would have been the first to blame, you know. Like, I stand out, I'm the tallest. And, like, so, you know, it took a lot out of me just not to do anything.
To leave with this question, I got one more question, like, for both of y'all. It doesn't matter who answered first, but what is something you could do in the future to try to make the image better for black people, or try to change the perception of black people and, like, make a difference?
For me, you know, I feel like going to college is a big thing for me. Going to college, graduating college, and, you know, getting a job, a good job, you know, something I like to do. I mean, college is not for everybody.
Yeah.
College is not for everybody. You know, at first I didn't think college was for me. You know, I'm really only here for football, but I'm also here because, you know, my parents, like, put me here, you know, to get a degree. And, you know, I think a degree is really important. I feel like it's even, you know, it's more, I feel like it's even more important if you get a degree and you're a black man, you know. I feel like you could do a lot for your community, you know.
Yeah, I feel like you can really change your image by the way you speak and by the way you talk, because you don't want to walk around cussing or whatever, because they're going to judge you. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, he's a thug or whatever. You can walk with your pants sagging down. But you can walk with a certain pride about yourself. Like, you got to walk around like, you know, like you're a black man. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't try to be like somebody else. Be yourself. Don't change and try to be like a white man, Caucasian, Mexican man, no matter whoever. Be a black man. Be happy, smile, walk around. Don't do nothing crazy, because then people are going to judge you for who you really not to be.
Yeah, I mess with both of those answers. I feel like the first thing or the step to help out the black community is by doing right by yourself and, like, finishing college strong with your degree and using that degree to make a change. Like, even, like, with social media, like, use that platform as a way to speak out against certain things, to speak your opinion. And I feel like we shouldn't be afraid to speak our opinions about certain things, because, like we said, like, y'all experienced some tough times and y'all got the right. Every human got the right to speak on what they want to speak on, and, you know, the world is not easy to live in. So, like, if you could put out a platform using your voice to help somebody else day, I feel like that's go a long way. So I agree with both.
One thing I can do to change the perception of black people to make a difference is, I feel like one of the biggest things I can do is definitely just the small things, you know, like not sagging, you know, not always repeatedly saying, like, the N-word, you know, just like represent myself the right way. And, you know, like Jed said, you know, get a degree, you know, that's really something you don't hear a lot, is a young black male getting a degree, you know, and stuff like that. So, you know, just stuff like that is just a way that could make a difference, you know, so people can see us as a different way, you know, and definitely be, you know, more nice, just allow somebody to talk to me, you know, allow for other people to make sure, like, they're comfortable trying to talk to me and stuff like that. So that's just one way I feel like I can make a difference, you know. And yeah.
I appreciate y'all coming on the podcast and stuff, and I appreciate y'all for listening.